Yo, family, what's good? It's been a while. Welcome back. Hopefully, you've had a pleasant weekend and are doing very well today. Welcome back to the Casper Crypto Live. It's a quick crypto channel where it has been quite a manic few days for me. And of course, the market had no time to look at them at all. But we can see right now the markets are looking better after a massive liquidation and massive crash. We saw Bitcoin lose that support level we were talking about from 87 to 83k. Had a candle all the way down here to about 81k, but did make a bit of a recovery and then found that sort of bottom around that 83k we were speaking about. And now it looks like it's starting to run back up again. Of course, the question I'm sure people were asking is the cycle still on? Is it just going to be a relief rally? Is it going to be a dead cat bounce, a fake out? We'll get into that throughout the stream and all the recent Casper updates. There's been quite a few updates from multiple projects that we look at in this community, in this space, be it Sebek, Ondu, Okta, Tau, and whatnot. But Casper's going to be the main focus for this stream. That being said, family, if you enjoy the content, try to do it as frequent as I can, normally every single day. Then leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. I cannot guarantee that I'll be back to daily streams just yet. Those who are in my Discord server will know exactly why. Next weekend, should be streaming, but I will be away with family. So I'll make as much time as possible to give you a lot your daily content when the markets are in a period of uncertainty that we desperately need to find out right now. That being said, family, welcome back. Hope you're doing very well. We have Mr. Miles, or the name has seemingly changed, unless that's somebody else as well. It is Mr. Miles, okay. Yeah, there you go. I thought so. Welcome back, brother. Hope you're doing very well, my man. LB Crypto on the check-in, bro. Welcome back, my man. Hope you're doing very well. And you too, Gosu, brother. Welcome back. Booyard, good to see you here again, my man. Fair play, Mr. Miles. I agree. YouTube is an interesting platform, to say the least. I don't know if we're back. Maybe again, clickbait. We'll get into that in this stream, Kenny Dutch. The long and short of it is there's still a lot of uncertainty. But based on information that we have talked about in our VIP group, alongside the current developments in the market, I'm under the impression that we're probably not back yet. I think there is still potential for more downside, although time will tell. But I do believe that 2026 is going to be a very good year, which is actually what a lot of our premium insiders have spoken about time and time again. You guys sure you remember, guys and gals, remember the documents I showed from Signum Bank, from SwiftX, from Bitwise and others, which spoke about how the 4-year cycles come to an end and how 2026 should see increased volatility. We've got all the sort of documents, a lot more in the VIP we've been speaking about, and right now all the external sources coming in, other factors seem to support that theory as well. So I'm optimistic still. I think right now we're using these opportunities, these pullbacks, as a way to continue to increase capital. And in fact, our traders have been popping off, not going to lie. We're going to be making a bit of an announcement and probably a little bit of a Black Friday sort of thing very soon. But in this pullback period, while I also was preoccupied with my family issues, our traders had made over 1,000% worth of gains in trades. It was unbelievable stuff, the gains we made in the VIP. So those who partook in that or partaken in that were very happy and still making gains right now through this market period, through the uncertainty, which is great. So again, want to find out more, check out the VIP. Links are down below in the description. And you can also find everything as well in the free Discord server. But yes, welcome back everybody once more. Dimitar, as always, brother, welcome back. Where have you been these past few days? Shame on you. Yes, those who are unaware, I did make an announcement in my Discord server, my free community. I basically had to rush to hospital. My mum had a sudden, don't want to get into it too much, had a sudden issue. She had to rush to A&E, emergency services, and I was in and out of hospital pretty much 24/7 over the past 4 days. I don't know how long it's been. She's been discharged now, which is great. She's on the men's, which is fantastic. But of course, during that time, I couldn't really dedicate time to provide any content for you, which I apologize for. But family for me, I think always should take precedent. Families first. We do this for our family. We do investing kind of to look after our future husbands and wives and children. So the same principle applies to me. I want to make sure my family are good. So I'll always take time out to support family if need be. But I won't be getting too much into that. Thank you everybody who offered their wishes during that time. She's home now, which is great. So now I can at least monitor from here, which is fantastic. Because hospitals, while we are fortunate in the UK to have free health service, the government are trying to cut funding constantly. So the hospitals here are not great. So in fact, hospitals themselves just aren't that great. But yeah, is what it is. Welcome back, baby Daddy Blow. You're doing very, very well. Just add another 60k capital to my bag. Now I'm a baby orca. Fantastic. Well, I keep stacking that bag. Love to hear it, my man. Welcome back, Jedi. We get small jumps up, huge crashes down, and we just keep going down until the miners are profitable. The whole project is at risk. You say that, Jedi, and while you're not incorrect, you've got to understand that while the price keeps going down, more and more the miners are turning them off because they're not profitable. But that therefore means that the hash rate goes lower, and therefore means that the possibility to mine blocks increases. So it's a bit of a give and a take. It's a bit of a give and a take about, you're not incorrect. If the price is going down, mining becomes less profitable and it puts the project at risk. It's not incorrect to say that, but the more it goes down, the more that are not able to be as resilient will turn off their miners, meaning that those who are still mining, they actually have more opportunities now. So it's not as black and white as that. As long as people continue to mine the project, they'll still be upholding to the ecosystem security and decentralized nature, which will help Kaspa grow. And actually, we will be playing this video, this audio extract from Wolfie, who is the self-proclaimed Kaspa head of business and listings. And he gives a 2-minute interview here, basically just kind of, I think, quite a needed interview to kind of reassure hope and understanding that right now everything is still perfectly fine and going according to plan. So before we get into more of the questions, let's listen very closely here to this extract from Wolfie here.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. We know it's spooky looking at the charts. We know overall crypto's seen nothing but red for quite a while now, so that can be disconcerting. However, I'd like to point out on the brighter side of things that Kaspa is not about to run out of runway capital. So the wolf in sheep's clothing, meaning corporate coins that parade around as crypto, but really they're corporations with a product, and their goal in starting the coin and the corporation was to make themselves money, not to help humanity and help everybody have a fair shot at doing decent in life, like Kaspa. So we're not about to run out of money, and there's no anything that's gonna shut off progress on our fantastic multiple technologies that we have going on from our great boys here. And everything's still moving forward. Bigger ideas than ever coming out from our boys, even quite recently. So things are fantastic in the technology department, and when the market realizes that the fear and panic was basically probably over, almost nothing, if not completely nothing, then we should be doing great again, and everything is totally cool. So have a great weekend and give yourself a little break. And yeah, keep your peepers out for new developments.
That to me is quite important. Now, of course, it's kind of the same argument as always, which is tech's all great and whatnot, but tech doesn't mean anything to price. First off, that's not completely correct. All great technologies that solve real world issues are prevalent today. The internet, iPhone, those sort of developments. The only one you could argue that there have been cases where innovative technology have fallen short, but the reason why is because it didn't innovate continuously. Take BlackBerry. BlackBerry was one of the best of its time. Being able to give free texts was unbelievable, ahead of its time. They didn't upgrade to touchscreen. So when every other mobile company or iPhone, Android, they decided to implement touchscreen and free messaging, BlackBerry couldn't compete because they didn't have touchscreen. You've got to continue innovating. Bitcoin's the same premise for that. Bitcoin is BlackBerry what Kaspa is to Apple. That's a bit of a leap, hop, skip, and jump to a comparison there, but the premise still lies that Bitcoin is innovative in what it does for finance, for the monetary system, for crypto, how we got the space as it is right now. And through that, you've seen the birth of corporate coins are here to make money and to offer a service, but not actually trying to solve an issue. They're here to offer something, fast payments, cheap payments, but not to solve the issue of centralization and true money, which is what Bitcoin was originally meant to be. Bitcoin as a BlackBerry didn't evolve, didn't become scalable. Kaspa is the evolution of Bitcoin and our premise. And that's effectively what Wolf is highlighting here. The fact that we are still seeing to this day, despite the lackluster price action, although Kaspa is currently up 8.83% of the daily time frame, valued at 4.3 cents, it did come down to 3.6. Great discount prices, honestly, if you decided you wanted to DCA into that value there. But Kaspa continues to innovate. I haven't got all the sources on stream today because I've missed so much in the past 5 days. But I've seen stuff in regards to developments from smart contracts. We're going to get to smart contracts and smart and stablecoins in this stream a little bit. But I've seen courtesy of, I think it was Krypton who put it into my free Discord server again, in regards to them making an internet browser. The same way you got Google Chrome or Brave or Firefox, they're making one that is dedicated on Kaspa. You got to understand as well, right? This post is very, very prevalent as well. Kaspa is becoming the monetary layer for the internet, a critical piece of infrastructure, internet infrastructure. That doesn't mean that Kaspa coin will be the vehicle driving transactions. It means that Kaspa will be the highway for any and all value to transact on. If you understand this, then you will make it. Then you're going to make it. Mr. Miles also made this extract here as well, which I have read through, and I do think it's very, very interesting. Shout out to you, Mr. Miles. Kaspa officially integrated into Dymension's ecosystem. The recent price action for Kaspa's coincides with the rollout of Dymension's Beyond upgrade Prop 31, which has officially listed Kaspa as the base liquidity asset alongside USDC Circle. What this means is Dymension is a modular blockchain hub that allows developers to deploy high-speed app-specific chains called roll apps. With this upgrade, Kaspa is now integrated directly into these infrastructures. So it means that Kaspa can now be utilized as a primary form of collateral and liquidity within the Dymension ecosystem, the monetary bridge, if you will. This established a bridge secured by Dymension's validators, connecting Kaspa proof of work network to Dymension's modular DeFi environment. And this integration effectively grants Kaspa holders access to DeFi markets by utilizing their Kaspa as a pristine collateral asset within Dymension's modular environment. So this development positions Kaspa not just as a payment layer, but as a pristine collateral asset for the broader modular blockchain economy. We have to understand that while everything in this space has their own use case, be it for payments, be it for a governance token, Kaspa is not just money, not just payments. It is so much more than that. The saying of Kaspa is going to melt faces, that's very commonly used by even people in this community here. It's not a quote from the Moon Boys necessarily. It's also quotes from one and the only Hans Moon, one of the leaders in DeFi, one of the OGs in Bitcoin, who has over 20 plus years in distributed systems, DAGs, proof of work research, and protocol engineering. And he says Kaspa is going to melt faces. Kaspa is more than just, another form of money. It is meant to be a new. It's the same way as the way I perceive Kaspa, the same way as you were investing into internet in the early day. Everything right now runs on the internet. For me, Kaspa can very well the same thing. Kaspa will be that coin that allows everything to transact on the mainnet, on the future of internet of value. But Kaspa is going to be this evolution of crypto, of money, something that, while the price is lackluster and the concerns about price are very valid, always have been. The concerns about miners not making money also very valid. But again, you've got to understand that while the price dwindles, those who can't continue to mine will turn it off, meaning those who are continuing to mine actually now have a bit more room freed up. They can start mining and making more profit. So it's still a give and a take. And of course, you can't expect Kaspa to start pumping against the market. It did do that in 22, 23, I agree. But you can't expect that to happen. Right now, when the market's being as terrible as they are, you can't expect Kaspa to go against the status quo. If it does, then I mean, hey, that's another conversation we have then. But Kaspa is right now following along to the market. When that recovery comes through, as Wolfie highlighted here, Kaspa will be okay because Kaspa continues to build. What CZ said, CZ Binance said that hype and FOMO wins short term, building wins long term. Kaspa, despite the price being lackluster, has continued to build very, very well throughout this whole time. And we're going to get into some more posts about Kaspa in a moment. Welcome back, Lau Brother. You're doing very, very well. I hope it goes down to €3. I'm going to say $3 for my case. So I can buy cheap. I think the bottom is around 2.8 cents. But I don't know what that is in dollars. Yeah, I'm not sure what the conversion to euros to dollars is on this chart right now. I mean, I can try and look it up. If I go CAS EUR, there you go. We can see here. So I don't know what it's in dollars here, but you're saying around here. So it's not that far off, actually. It was not that far off recently, because Kaspa bottomed out around 3.6, I believe you looked at just earlier. And now it's bottomed out at 3.1. So, I mean, yeah, 2.8 is definitely a possible zone. Apologies for putting my phone on Do Not Disturb. Now that I don't have to have it on loud. But yes, I think a possibility for Kaspa to come down, it does depend on Bitcoin. I think we might be on the cusp of a bit of a relief rally, which is also driven by the fact that the Feds are looking a bit more dovish now. We've seen a lot of interesting macro reports coming out, while also hearing that the US Department of US Labor Department, apologies, the US Labor Department, they are not releasing critical data. You know, the unemployment rates and also the inflation reports that took place that would happen during the government shutdown, they're not being released, which is definitely put the Fed in between a rock and a hard place once again. We'll have to see what happens right now, but you're seeing Goldman Sachs, apparently, they believe the Fed is going to cut again in December, followed by 2 more moves in March and June 2026, which if that does happen, that would be quite good, of course, leading into the new Fed that will replace Jerome Powell. That will likely be a lot more bullish. I think you'll see a lot more volatility around midterms. You're also hearing some big news for crypto in regards to even Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, who has been the biggest anti-crypto campaigner, if you will. She is now actually deciding that she wants to support crypto in some capacity, which is also really big news. And it's all coincides with documentation that I've published already on Twitter, talking about, you know, how institutions and financial services are talking to their clients, saying that they need to stay resilient in this market and this environment. And it's more important, and that's Deloitte saying this, it's more important than ever before to stay resilient in this environment. Right here. And equally, you can see another document here I posted regarding Signum Bank, which talk about the next significant steps and catalysts for crypto, all seem to be coming regarding regulations. Right now, the biggest reason why institutions are not getting involved into crypto is due to regulatory uncertainty. Some other elements as well, but the biggest one is regulatory uncertainty. So you see the passing of the Market Structure Bill, the Clarity Act, you'll see a lot of that unease and unwillingness to get into crypto completely shift away, and you'll start seeing them getting back involved as well. And we've seen this shift taking place before our eyes. We'll come back full circle to that as well in a moment. But yes, right now the market's at 88K. I think there's a possibility we might see Bitcoin make a move back. I want to say 92, 93K possibly, around this zone here. And we'll see if Bitcoin can break above. I'm hearing some people saying Bitcoin can make a move back up to 100K again, possibly. I would be very pleasantly surprised if I was to see Bitcoin make a recovery rally from here. I know we have got quantitative tightening, QT ending next week. And QE will start very, very soon as well. I know we have got those big catalysts coming through. But I think the market is just under such a massive period of uncertainty right now, even now, despite these incoming catalysts, and the liquidity is still quite thin. I think you might see a relief rally, dead cat bounce, probably coming up a bit and then making a pushback further downwards. It'll find support a bit lower, exactly where we'll talk about as time goes on. But I have the utmost confidence that 2026 is going to be a very huge year. And we have got a lot of documentation in our VIP have been posting about that supports that theory as well. All the big institutions are saying the very same thing. I'm not saying it publicly either. They're saying it to their clients. So, you know, they're saying what they're saying to the mainstream media is very hush quiet. They're not saying anything about 2026 pretty much, but all they're saying to their clients is we're going to see a lot more injecting of capital next year into this asset class, into crypto, into AI as well, which is something that we're looking forward to. And again, despite the market correction, we're still making gains. Just to showcase a few of them on stream, actually. Shout out to our trader chart flows for some of these. You saw we made a 300, almost 70% gain in XRP, a short in that. We also made a 200% in Solana, and equally Pepe as well. So we had some very, very profitable gains that came through recently. And even this one open right now from our other trader in there, we got 2 in there. I think he just made I think it was 90% on another asset. I think it's Home USDT. I believe it was Home USDT. Yes, yeah, it was Home USDT. Made a nice 90%, if not a little bit more, which is great. So yeah, the gains being made right now is good, and it's actually gone up a lot higher as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, the trader's doing very, very well in this. If you want to find out more, again, check out the VIP. All links are down below in the description. We've got a 7-day free trial, and we've got some other promo stuff coming through very, very soon. So if you don't want to sign up right now, stay tuned for those and be able to partake in what is to come. Trying to become a more well-rounded, experienced trader and investor effectively. Is this a relief rally, or did alt season just start? Oh, it's a great question, Mr. Miles. We look at Bitcoin dominance right now. It's down to 58%, so it's come down a little bit. I'm not convinced alt season has just started yet. I think this is going to be more so a dead cat bounce, in the sense that you see a little bit of a relief, rally up a little bit, and then you might see it make a reversal at one of the key resistance zones, come back down a little bit further, and then you'll see maybe you might, again, the catalyst coming through in the short to mid-term, ending of QT, rate cuts seem to be very well back on again. Go to CME group here. You can see the rate cut odds were down to like 40%. They've jumped up to 80 now, so it's done a complete reversal. It was at 90% before October's FOMC meeting, before October 10th, the big crash. It was at 90%. After that meeting, after that FUD, you saw that rate cut odds massively crashed down to like 30% or whatever. Now it's back up to 80. So that's also generating some momentum in the economy and the markets again. So rate cuts are apparently very likely again, which is reassuring. We are about 2 to 3 weeks away from that meeting. We'll have to wait to see if that does take place. And I think that will definitely add to more volatility in the market, but will it cause Bitcoin and crypto to make that push back up, surpassing... If we surpass 116K, I think we have got another leg up if we surpass here, but I think that's going to be pretty tough. I don't want to say impossible, because I think impossible, but a 30% rally, making another 20-30%, 20-30% rally, 20-30K back up, asking for quite a lot here. I think you might more so see a fake out maybe, or okay, dead cat bounce, come back down a little bit. You might see it consolidate around these lower levels in kind of going towards the end of the year, maybe even Q1 2026, and then you'll see another move taking place around going towards midterms is my current thesis. We'll see where it goes from there. Of course, there's a lot more in-depth explanations and analysis in our VIP. We posted a lot in there recently, actually, if I take a quick gander. Speaking about some new news that just came out from Amazon regarding AI, which I think is a pretty big deal for crypto's thesis going forward as well. Speaking about, I made a massive post 3 days ago, actually, regarding the current market sentiment as well. And how, the best kind of strategies that I have used during these massive period of uncertainty when the markets look like they're about to go into a bear cycle, what to do. We also just take into account as well that 22nd of November, I have to double check if it actually has gone live or not, but that should have been the time where all financial institutions and Swift would have migrated to ICE 20022 right here. So now you're seeing the markets go up again. Maybe that was a catalyst. Institutions dumping so they can get in cheap before everything runs on blockchain. Again, just another theory for you. Just drop the price one last time, please. Very possible. Very, very possible. No doubt about that. If you want to make the market laugh, tell your predictions. I'm not going to say any predictions. That's the reason why I don't make any predictions. The reason why is because Well, the reason why is because I don't want to put anyone into a false sense of security. Think about everybody else in this space, the content creators who make predictions. I'm not going to name any, but those who are calling either moon boy predictions or even those who are calling bearish predictions, while you can be right in them, it puts investors who are not taking the knowledge to do their own research and invest in their own strategies, they get lured into a false sense of security. I don't make any price predictions because I understand that I don't want to be even remotely held responsible for you as your investor not taking action to do your own research. So I'll tell you what these sources mean, and working for the market charts is up for you to determine if it will act that way and also how big the catalyst will be for the market and how big the price will jump. Yes. Yeah, I do recognize the logo, Brett, so I had a feeling. I'll try and remember names if I can do. But yeah, it looks like YouTube have changed something right now, which is a bit frustrating. I don't know why they do that. There's nothing broken with it. I don't know why they're trying to fix it. Welcome back, brother. You're doing very, very well. I think it was PG, I think was who you were. I can't remember what your tag was before YouTube changed it. Welcome back, Geek Bro. Let's hear some good stuff today. We'll get into a lot more of that as the stream goes on. Are we moon yet? Definitely not, Dimitar. But looking better today. XRP up 10%, ETH up 6%, Kaspa up almost 10%, the BEX 6, Ondu 6, Sui up 12%. Looking across the board, looking pretty good. Turbo up 11%. Which honestly, again, memes are very, very risky. But I think Turbo's got quite a strong community behind it. I'd say this is arguably a very good entry for Turbo right now. Again, there's still a strong possibility in my belief the market will correct further. So just keep that in mind. Do your own research, not financial advice. But if Turbo can even just manage to regain up to prices up here, it's still looking at 30, a 3 to 4x from here, give or take. And of course, also all-time highs. You're looking at basically a 10x from here, which would be pretty great if it did do that. Welcome back, Wyatt, brother. You're doing very, very well, my man. You're back. Yes, I am. Hope you're doing very, very well. I was worried about the authorities got to you knowing too much. Yeah, not yet, thank the Lord. Hopefully, I'll be out of this country before that even becomes remotely worrying. But it can be a cause for concern. That was actually part of the reason why I didn't do Facecam for so very long, because I was worried that, frankly speaking, I'm probably as exposed beforehand as I am now. But there's always a worry about centralization and authorities just kind of overreaching, which is why I have to be very careful on what I say as well online, making it very, very clear I'm not providing any form of financial advice. It's purely just educational, entertainment content. That's pretty much all it is, and it's up for you to determine where the markets will go in regards to what we're talking about. But no, it was not anything in that regards. It was just family matters. Welcome back, Double D, bro. You're doing very, very well, my man. And you too, Falco. I remember your two names. Welcome back, brothers. And you too, Greg, as well. Great to have you back again, my man. Or you beat me fair square, 19th. Welcome back, Jay. Hope you're hanging in there. Yeah, it's doing better. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate all the kind words. And yeah, it was a very stressful time. It happened at a very short notice. It was Thursday. Everything was perfectly fine. Just went to get a checkup, and the checkup turned out to be a lot more severe than originally thought. A lot more severe, and I thank God every day how fortunate and lucky we are they found the issue early. So now my mum can be home, which is where she should be, as opposed to being in a hospital bed. So yeah, it's good to see that she's back. It's good to see she's back. And welcome back, Kryptoni, brother. You're doing very, very well, my man. Andy A, good to have you back, my man. I got 3,500 more Kaspa. Fantastic. Keep stacking that bag, brother. Love to hear it. Kaspa is the future. No doubt about it. I pray your mum will be better. Yeah, I'm sure she will be. She's on the mends now. She's looking a lot better as well, which is great. So we can only hope it continues almost an upwards, right? But God will look out for us, I'm sure. Glad you're back. Thank you very much, Erica. Wishing your mum a speedy recovery. Thank you very much as well. I appreciate you. Good evening, guys. You're doing very, very well. She got the jab, didn't she? No. I don't want to get into it too much. It basically, I'm not going to get into too much. It basically was, her readings were off the scale, and she could have gone into a coma, is what the doctors were saying, like days, if not hours away. So I had to put into some emergency medication to level out her readings. But she's home now. That's all that matters. So that's great. Casper's looking at the strongest in the markets. It's looking definitely one of the strongest. Won't disagree with that. I think one thing that I do agree with is what I've been seeing my community talk about as well, is that despite the price being so terrible with crypto, Casper continues to be the loudest voice. You know, the markets are correcting, everyone's kind of disappearing, myself included, like a little bit, but everyone's disappearing. Kaspa continues to be one of the loudest voices online for Twitter. You know, again, this interview we heard from Wolfie about how the price is terrible, but we're hearing a lot more building coming through, which is very, very good to see, and more coming out soon enough as well. How Kaspa's becoming this true monetary layer for the internet, like how HTTP was for the web pages, or SMTP for email, or IP or TCP for data flows. Like Kaspa is meant to be the protocol that what Kaspa is not just another form of money; it is a protocol. You know, what it's building is going to become ideally the foundation for all of finance and frankly everything online in the future as well, as a truly decentralized protocol layer. And yes, again, Mr. Miles with a very, very nice document here talking again about the shift already taking place with ecosystem like Dymension jumping aboard Kaspa now as well. Kaspa going to make Felsus is not just the same that we Moonboys use or believers use, even Hans Moog saying the same thing as well. And we got this again, Kaspa Silverhut made a post here retweeting from Nicola here, which is a Kaspa Facts. Unfortunately, his account got banned, I believe, so he's changed it now. But Kaspa Facts here, who's been very, very great in his posts. But Kaspa will win with education. I wholeheartedly believe that as well. You can't even see my screen. Wholeheartedly believe as well, Kaspa will win with education. Even Marcus Sutton was very impressed when skimming through this documentation here called the Anti-Cone Finalization Depth, which I will be honest, definitely goes over my head, but I can always ask Gemini to break it down for me like I am 5 years old, 10 years old. So to do that then, we can just load this up here. And we can see Anti-Cone Finalization Explained. Imagine you are building a giant complex Lego castle with many friends. In a normal linear blockchain, everyone lines up and adds their block one at a time. It's easy to know the history, 1 block followed by 2 block followed by 3 block, etc. and so forth. But Kaspa's a DAG, everyone builds at the same time. You might finish your block right when your friend finishes their block. Since neither of your blocks connect directly to one another, they are parallel. This parallel between blocks A and blocks B is called the anticone. The big challenge is, how do you know for sure that all these parallel blocks have been seen and nothing important is missing? If someone later sneaks in the old parallel block that changes history, is a big mess. So the security, or the solution here, is the permanent security rule. So the rule here in regards to the finalization depth is, once we have built 100 new layers of blocks on top of block A, the parallel space is 100% closed. And we can all agree nothing else will ever fit there. And it goes into more detail about that here as well. I'll post this whole kind of Gemini AI summary about this article here, again courtesy of Kaspa Facts. Welcome, shout out to you, brother, in regards to all this stuff here as well. But it is again something that definitely worth putting more time researching into and understanding it more. So, but it's again the kind of the benefit, if you will, or the superiority of Kaspa is again this the fact that what most of the community understands is that Kaspa is not just another government project, right? Where you get XRPs, where Ripple are trying to create an asset that will just kind of take over the markets and become the next bank, the next world bank, if you will. Kaspa's trying to solve a real issue, an issue that is deeply integrated into finance, but also into crypto right now, which is the parallelization of blocks and how it functions effectively. So it's again something very, very intriguing. Those who have done deeper dives into Kaspa and understanding its architecture more so have all come away saying they're very impressed. Michael Sutton, of course, is one of the creators of it. You've heard Nick Szabo, the creator of smart contracts, talking about the block DAG. You've heard the creator of Zcash talking about the innovative nature of Kaspa's block DAG architecture to Tom Polinsky. You've heard many, many more. Those who actually take time to research Kaspa understand that it is, again, Kaspa will melt faces. It's the same for Moonboys. It's a belief by those who have the experience over 20 years in the crypto space. They come to Kaspa because they see that what it's doing is truly, truly innovative. Truly innovative. And even Paul Van Son hit his post here talking about it. Making Kaspa internet native would complete the highest speed ambition for a universal money, retail and industrial proof of work information carrier. Kaspa can hardly be made more convincing. And shout out to Kaspa Crypto King here with this post talking about those who believe Kaspa is just a payment coin are kind of misunderstood. After a long exchange with Konstantin Polinsky, it's clear that payments are only the surface layer. The real vision of Kaspa is something much bigger, the native monetary protocol for the internet itself. And it's talking here about the RTD, which is the real-time decentralization. The network identifies the honest majority within seconds, not in 6 blocks or 1 hour, in seconds. So Kaspa can, again, the RTD being apparently the hidden feature of Kaspa can do everything so incredibly quick, which is why some politically want to push it again to 100 BPS, to have a stronger RTD. So have even more use cases, therefore, higher value settlement, censorship resistance flows, institutional grade trust. The higher the block per second, the stronger Kaspa becomes, and the more it can end up offering in the future. Again, I'll repost this and link this in my free Discord. If you're not a part of the free server, by the way, check it out. Link down below in the description. Free Discord server right here on my homepage here as well. Come chill, chat, and learn more in there, and equally level up more so in the VIP, which you can find all the links down below in the description as well. But the idea of what Kaspa's trying to build is, again, it's not just payments. It's not just a short-term vision of pump and dump like the space has been for the longest time. This degen casino, it's cyberpunk. It's true innovation. And talking more on the KRI, we've got this interview here, the snip from Elon Musk, which the KRI highlight here that this is very, very important, and also a big thing that Kaspa is also going to start tapping into as well, in regards to how the whole world as we know it, we have more than enough resources to power the entire world with solar power panels and batteries effectively. There's no shortage of it. Then we can use Kaspa, therefore, as a fully traceable kind of settlement layer as well. So again, listen very closely to this interview here with Elon Musk.
Solar panels are made of silicon, which is sand, essentially.
I guess more on the battery side, but
the battery side, yeah. So on the battery side, the like iron phosphate, lithium ion battery cells. That's Earth. I'd like to throw out some interesting factoids here. If most people don't know, if you said as measured by mass, what is the biggest element? What is Earth made of, as measured by mass? Actually, it's iron.
Iron.
We're I think 32% iron, 30% oxygen, and then everything else is in the remaining percentage. So we're basically a rusty ball bearing. That's Earth, and with a lot of silicon at the surface in the form of sand. And the iron phosphate, so iron phosphate lithium ion cells, iron, extremely common, most common element on Earth, even in the crust. And then phosphorus is also very common. And then the anode is carbon, but also very common. And then lithium is also very common. So there's actually, you can do the math. In fact, we did the math and published the math, but nobody looked at it. It's on the Tesla website. That shows that you can completely power Earth with solar panels and batteries, and there's no shortage of anything.
So ultimately, just Elon Musk talking about how the whole world can be powered with the resources we have on hand already. To those who are struggling to find energy sources, there's enough, apparently. And that's why KRI highlights here that one of the most important energy carriers for the future is iron powder, super safe, extremely high energy density, and infinitely recyclable, rust and recharge with green hydrogen, and will be fully traceable with Kaspa as well. Kaspa again is
solar panels are made of silicon, which is
kind of deemed as the kind of the perfect protocol asset, if you will, for kind of everything needed in the world, kind of the next evolution. Whether it will be taking off or not is a question. I think it will. I think we're early. I think we're quite evidently early. And you've got projects like this as well. We know some of them in regards to the KRI and what they're trying to build. Asset Mint, Warp Core, Gigawatt, ZETEX. We also know there's some other ones as well, like KMIF, the Kaspa Mobility Insurance Framework. Which again, this one, Ivan, again, shout out to him who's put it up as well, highlighting, in simple words, Kaspa prepares for an age of autonomous vehicles, which will capture an increasing share of vehicle markets, which we will see first with robotaxis and delivering cars as part of the logistic companies. Transitioning the above on the ultimate centralized ledger means leveraging smart contract usage, which managing both insurance coverage and usage in case of an accident. So the idea here is that there's a lot that can be done with decentralized protocols in regards to what Kaspa can achieve with the mobility insurance framework. And perfect about how sovereignty comes back to our hands when using decentralized backbones. And even there's a snippet here from S&P Global about the future of mobility insurance, which gives hints about what's coming up. Existing electronic data recorders, enhanced EDR with details from camera, radar, and other driver monitoring sensors, and much more here as well. Time-stamped control transition, that's also very big, and that's something that Kaspa can also tap into as well. And of course, the question here, now S&P Global team, maybe it's time you start looking at Kaspa. I'd argue in a sense they kind of are. And I only argue that they kind of are because you've got some big trust funds and entities. You've got Lehman, who was at the DRI, the energy conference, who have partnerships like to Walmart, who is the top S&P Global 500 company, to Bill Gates's company, to the Warner Brothers, and many more. You've got the likes of SGCC, State Grid Corporation of China, who are also working with DRI and want to learn more about Kaspa as well. So while I may not be S&P Global directly looking at them, there are institutions who are connected, who are in the kind of upper rankings, who are looking more towards leveraging Kaspa, or are working with institutions who are looking to leverage Kaspa, which is again something that I think is very important. Kaspa's still in a very early and transformative spot. Now, to actually get into the title of the stream, I kind of say that the best for last, if you will. We can see from James Lee, looks like stablecoins are coming to Kaspa in one way or another. Haven't heard anything from Casplex. They spoke about potentially having a native on Casplex in Q1, but all we heard from them, nothing really concrete in that regard. James Lee, who had a recent beef with the KEF due to lack of transparency, lack of communication, lack of funding, and the whole plethora of things, which does throw more smoke into the wind in regards to what Shah's talking about the KEF. But he has, again, and even when James Lee posted this, there's a lot of backhanded compliments from, namely Johnny, saying, it's great to see they're still building, but just be careful who you trust. It's like, okay, why? You don't need to say anything. Just don't say anything, really. But, I mean, he's not wrong, but it's just given the circumstances, I don't think he'd say anything. But he's not wrong. Be careful who you trust. Do your own research here. But you are seeing that James Lee have now announced that Circle is live on the Kaspa Bridge testnet. We should be having some more announcements and going live relatively soon. Haven't given an update just yet, but they're saying, hopefully sometime next week, which we are now on Tuesday, or is it Monday? It's Monday. So no, Monday. So hopefully we'll hear something in the next few days or so. Because this post is a few days old now. But you basically can have a way to get access to USDC Circle and go basically connecting that and get access to Kaspa as well. You can now push USDC between EVM testnets and Kaspa. So it's not live on the mainnet just yet, but hopefully it will be soon enough, which is fantastic news. And then we also got another update here from IGRA Labs. Fantastic stuff here as well, where in the upcoming week or sometime soon now, they're going to start open sourcing their code, which is the biggest news I've heard, honestly, because that's my biggest qualm still with Casplex. They haven't open sourced their code. They've been live now for what, 2 months, give or take? I don't even know now. Can't remember the date. The date changed so many times. I can't remember the date they even went live. But they've been live for so long and they haven't open sourced their code yet. I don't know what's taking them so long still. Whereas IGRA Labs, they're open sourcing it. Now, Shai did make a post about this as well, which I don't agree with. He said that if IGRA fails, Kaspa fails. I don't agree with that because Kaspa is not IGRA. IGRA is not Kaspa. IGRA is leveraging Kaspa. Kaspa does not need IGRA. It does not need Casplex. It does need people building on it, but it doesn't. It's like Kaspa is a protocol layer. These are third parties trying to leverage the technology for smart contracts. The difference. So the statement that if IGRA fails, Kaspa fails for me is incorrect. But I don't disagree with the statement that IGRA are doing things right as it stands by open sourcing their code, months before they release their mainnet. So within 2 weeks, the IGRA node version 2 will be released. This version is the foundation for the mainnet node as well. And then sometime next month, you'll see a closed IGRA mainnet run by community node operators. And this phase is intended for rigorous testing of the IGRA protocol without deploying any integrations. And starting in Q1, you'll see a private testnet or a private mainnet launch, if you will, where the IGRA token will be launched and distributed amongst the A testers, so the validators. And then you've got mid Q1, mainnet becomes whitelisted, selected partners and protocols and integration will go live, fully operational, full liquidity from partners, and then a few weeks of partner testing and stabilization. And that's when you'll end up seeing the mainnet go live. So here's the roadmap. Nice to see a roadmap here. I'll move my face right now. Where's my face? There. You can see here, the idea is that you'll see we're now in the stage right here. Go to the closed mainnet coming up very, very soon next month. And then you'll see some open private mainnets coming out. And we should see the full public open mainnet at the end of Q1 2026, which again, given the market sentiment right now, that actually could be an opportune time. That could be quite a good time because I think the markets might be hopefully in a state of recovery around then. If they haven't recovered a little bit earlier, we'll have to wait and see. But again, seeing the roadmap's very, very nice. IGRA have seemingly kept up to date with everything. And again, for me, the biggest element of this is just the fact that they are being very transparent and again, open sourcing their code is something that's going to incentivize a lot more trust. We'll have to see how it translates into adoption and stuff going forward as well. But I can say with confidence that I will definitely be partaking in IGRA as it stands right now. I've done a little bit on Casplex and I don't think it's bad. It's just my risk to reward is a little bit uneasy. That's all. I don't want to. Every time I say it, it sounds like I'm bashing Casplex and KEF, and I don't want to sound like that because I do think they've offered quite a lot for Kaspa. I think they're trying to continue offering quite a lot. I don't think they're necessarily bad actors, but there's so much uncertainty being kind of clouded around them, again, mainly pushed by Shy and whatnot as well. But they don't help themselves when you've got other people who also act in similar manners, namely Johnny. And also you've got the fact that they've got so much uncertainty still clouded around them. You can find out pretty much everything you want to know about IGRA. And they're being very transparent. Casplex, I know nothing about them. Little to nothing about them. I've tried to look into more. I can't find more. And their code is still very closed off. Why? Why can't I see the coding? Why there's so much kind of closed door stuff taking place, I don't know. If I don't hate Casplex, I'm just not sure about them. But either way, this is great to see. So smart contract updates coming through from IGRA. Stablecoins, USDC coming through from the third party, James Lee, who is the creator of Kaspa Finance, KFC, another DEX like Kaspa.com, like ZellaSwap, KFC, the same thing, Kaspa, and they've got this as well here. Again, do your own research, trade at your discretion, partake at your own risk, because as anything, so you've got to put trust into it, and it's a risk no matter where you go. But I'm hopeful this will be trustworthy, and hopefully it'll be good. James Lee seems to be trustworthy as it stands right now, so hopefully it'll stay that way. And we're seeing again KRI, some big stuff coming through, and they're what they're trying to use for Kaspa 4 is huge. And just understanding once more again that Kaspa is not just a payment layer, it is a protocol that is in its early inception that will be melting face as time goes on. Rate cuts coming through will be great as well. So all that to look forward to and more as time goes on. Kaspa up 12%, fantastic. Hopefully we'll continue in that fashion. Bitcoin hopefully trying to regain 90k would be great. Not sure we're going to get a necessary recovery rally from here. Maybe just a dead cat bounce, but again, time will tell, family. Don't be emotional, be logical. Don't be emotional, be logical. Anyone flipping from bull to bear, then back to bull, crypto is for you? I mean, yeah, very, very true. Although, if you're flipping from bull to bear to bull, then yes, like investing, trading, crypto is probably not for you. It depends, right? If you're doing this every day, then no, it's definitely not for you. You're evidently quite emotional. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but you need to probably do some more soul seeking, some research, and understand more so what it is you want out of this market. You know, you want to try and make quick gains. If you are, then understandable why you're emotional. You're trying to find a way to set up a retirement fund or set up for the future, then you've got to look from a different light. But right now, I mean, I'd say being bullish here is perfectly fine. Being down here right now, being bearish, is perfectly fine, because this right now is a bearish period. We came down over 30%, 36% or so. Came down to the zone that I was talking about as well. It did dip below that, but you could argue this is kind of just a flash pullback, like not flash crash, but like a pullback below it. But you saw it ended in that zone. And then it kind of finished around here. So it did come down to that zone that I was talking about, which I highlighted months and months and months back that I spoke about. This is the same chart I showed to my VIPs ahead of time as well. So we knew this was a level of support here as well. And now it's coming back up. Whether it comes back or not, I don't know. I'd probably say in the long term, still 90% bullish. Long term, 100%. I'm very bullish in long term. In the short to mid term, I'm probably 50-50, if I'm honest, because it can right now very much go either way. There's a lot of bullish catalysts coming through, as you mentioned, the ending of QT. The Russia-Ukraine war, I'm not paying any mind to, because that's always near the end. I'll be honest, the end of the Russian-Ukraine war is always near the end. Until it happens, I'm not going to believe it. I'll be so for real. But the QT ending is going to be a good thing, no doubt. So I look forward to that happening. But it's not guaranteed. Therefore, we're going to see a definitive kind of push up and, continue bull run straight away. I think there's still a possibility we see it come down a little bit more so. And you guys know me, I'm always the optimist. I always think we're going to be going up more and more and more. Right now, as always, I'm being honest. That's what I have tried to be. I try to be very, very honest. And right now, I think the bearish sentiment has taken over quite a lot. I think we could definitely see it go either way. It depends how the Fed act. Rate cuts and end of QT could definitely cause more of a pump. But will we see Bitcoin surpass 116 and see another push back up? I'm not so sure just yet. Because right now, still a lack of liquidity. The end of QT is great. We need money to go in. We have a lack of liquidity right now. We'll find out where does the liquidity come from right now. We have to find out where it comes from. You've got the M2 on supply, which is at all-time high. So we have got a lot of liquidity, but there still doesn't seem to be enough right now in the market, especially the retail side of things. Institutions-wise, we've seen fine, but retail seems to be very much lacking. So I think we can go either way. But for me, 2026 will be a good year, much better than this year. Again, you could argue that 2025 has just been a year of nothing. 2025 started here. So you have actually had pretty much a whole year of sideways action. So you could argue whole year of sideways action for pretty much all of 2025 that you should start seeing this being you saw the floor happen in 2024 here, sideways for basically 6 months, pretty much for a full year sideways here. And then you might see 2026, it comes down, comes here, and then it starts going up again, trying to find these new, price discovery levels. Please ask for a lower price to know when the dips happen, not wait for the pump and then beg for them. You want to, the best investors will buy in the dips, right? And that's what I was also saying to my VIPs, right? Like, don't be shaken out during these times of uncertainty. The place, if you go into a bear market, I think that's good news. Being in the bull market is great news. Of course, you can cash out, but if you go into a bear market right now, you get more time to stack in these projects when they're cheap for when they do recover. You can make money in the bear cycle. Hell, we've been making money like crazy right now. We're at the rock bottom price still. Just government crashed the market to get in. The general sentiment I agree with, but I have no guarantee that we're at the absolute bottom right now. We could have seen the rock bottom right here, but again, I personally, and again, it's not financial advice, I don't personally believe that we're going to do this. I'm not so sure right now. That might change with more, if we get more data coming out, then that sentiment may change. Again, one thing that, again, the premium insights that I'm posting to my VIPs talk about is you cannot be one track mind as an investor anymore. You've got to be adaptable. You've got to adapt to the markets. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm adapting my trading and my investing style, my trading strategies to the current market dynamic and what the information is telling me. I understand that retail right now are very, very emotional. Therefore, the FUD is at all-time highs. Therefore, that could push the market lower. Being logical does not mean ignoring emotions. It means understanding the emotional triggers and using that to play on the markets. The emotional triggers right now is we're going to a bear market. That's what everyone believes right now. To understand that we could therefore probably go a little bit lower. But I think we might see a bit of a relief, but I'm not so sure if we'll pass here or not. I think we may probably see it come back down beforehand. But again, time will tell. The data will tell us. Macro data will tell us. Again, you want to find out this sort of data, know firsthand, and get even more in-depth insight through premium insights and documentation, and equally making gains through trades and so much more. Check out the VIP here. Again, we made over 1,000% worth of gains through this current market crash. So we've been making a lot of money during this unfortunate time in the market and using that capital to desay into our project in the projects that we're holding, like Kaspa, for example. So you want to find out more, be it trade, be it alpha documentation, then come join the VIP 7-day free trials, and there'll be a lot more promos coming through in the near future as well. So stay tuned for that as well. Best wishes. Thank you very much, Octo Plus. I appreciate you. Yeah, she's on the men's right now, which is fantastic. And I thank you very much as well, Lizzie. I appreciate you very much. I had 30k capital before the mega crash, and I had the lever trade climb back up to 35k now. No lev this time. Keep stacking lads. Great stuff. Honestly, of course, high risk, high reward there, but it paid off. And you've also now understood that you don't want to keep playing that risk. So you've now gone back to just holding as opposed to lev trading. So that's honestly good strategy there, brother. I love to hear it. Well played. Well played indeed. Welcome back, Casmo. You're doing very, very well, my man. You'll not go any more down. You'll not go down anymore, in my opinion. Again, I'm not convinced. I think you have got good catalysts coming through, end of QT, possible rate cuts coming through now, looking very, very possible. It's great news, but I'm not so convinced because you have got the sentiment just being so overwhelming, right? So is what it is. But I'm not against the possibility we can see another reverse and a rally from here. I would also, I mean, frankly, I think the sources that we've looked through, publicly and even privately in my VIP, all support the theory that higher times are not far off, months away. We need regulations. We need more liquidity coming through. Those will be key catalysts. We see more adoption, all of which are taking place right now. So crypto could come down further. It may come down to this 74k being kind of the peak of the first run up from the ETFs. And equally where you saw it peak before it made that massive rally when Trump won the election. And equally where it bottomed out here after Liberation Day. I think those are definitely another very critical level of support there. You could see it come down a little bit further. But otherwise then, you could see maybe Bitcoin trade within this zone for a little bit as well. Right now, the two definitive zones for me is 74 and 116. Those are the two definitive zones that will let us know if Bitcoin's going to be more bearish in the mid to short term or more bullish. I'm currently more optimistic will probably go up, but how long that will take is really up for question. I think we could possibly see something like that and then hold maybe down here for a bit, around this area down here, before making that push back up off the back of all the other good catalysts to come through again, through midterms, through changing of Fed and whatnot, all probably very possible. Thank you very much, Jay. Appreciate it very, very much. Fasting cures everything. I mean, that it did help. It did help actually, because that was part of the thing that the doctors actually had to do, was just not allow my mum to eat for a little bit, due to blood sugars and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, she's on the men's health. She's great. Bro, I didn't work all weekend. The time you go live, I'm working using loud equipment. I can't even participate. I apologize, Kryptoni. Yeah, it's just a very unfortunate turn of events. But I should be live more often. I also, because I'm going to be away this weekend, I have been looking through my laptop, because last time I did a laptop stream, it was terrible. Looking through my laptop, I'm hoping that next time I do a laptop stream, I mean, probably for one, I'm going to be going up north, so it's going to be a lot colder, so that should be a good thing. Also, I've got some extra leads that should allow me to at least plug my LAN cable in. But yes, hopefully that will be good for the weekend as well. So, I mean, point being is, yeah, the streams should hopefully be more frequent now. Again, of course, unforeseen circumstances will stop that, but right now, streams should be back to almost daily, if not daily from this point forward. Do you see the stuff about Trump Besant trying to wrestle financial issuance, and therefore pretty much all the power from the Fed using stablecoins, bit bonds, and Bitcoin reserves? a vehicle like Sailor, MicroStrategy, hence what they're tapping into. I did see that article. That's one that actually I was going to save for tomorrow because again, there was so much for me to cover today that I just didn't. I didn't want to overload everybody with 5 days worth of information, so I just chose some key points today. I'll talk about some more tomorrow, but I did see a little bit about that. It's quite interesting. We'll see where it goes from here, of course. But yeah, it is a all policies, right? It's just a chess game right now. And unfortunately, we are the pawn pieces that are just getting used and abused and thrown to the side. Am I crazy, or did they swap Elon out, or did he gain 10 years? He does look like he's gained quite a few ages right here. It does, yeah. Maybe all the beef with Trump has put a few ages on him, who knows? That would be huge, Rizzy. That'd be huge, no doubt. VPOGs are the biggest element for Kaspa once they are out, Kaspa should fly. Again, we got to understand the premise of foundation building blocks. VPOGs are huge. They're absolutely huge, and I don't disagree with that. That does not guarantee the price is going to explode straight off the bat. The understanding that Kaspa should hopefully see more adoption that will attribute to more demand and therefore higher price, that should be the knock-on effect. But it won't happen overnight. At least it most likely won't. You know, stablecoins on Kaspa, fantastic. 10 BPS on Kaspa, 100 BPS on Kaspa, fantastic. DAG9, VPOS, all huge building blocks to make Kaspa this protocol for the entire internet blockchain world. 100% fantastic. That does not mean price jump immediately. The only thing that can and should cause a price to soar immediately is an exchange listing. Binance, Coinbase, that will cause Kaspa to jump significantly. 100, 200% in a day type of thing, if not more. That's what those listings can do. VPOGs, huge, definitely bigger than a tier 1 listing for the future of Kaspa and crypto and money as it is. It won't cause a price pump like that. You might, I mean, again, you think about the 10 BPS, you just see a little bit of a rally. 10 BPS was May 5th, which, if I find it, was about here. Yeah. So that's around here. So you saw May 5th was here. So you're looking at, you know, a 50% rally of 45% rally of 10 BPS. So it does cause price movements, but you know, it's nothing crazy. You shouldn't fly. You know, I understand the premise of what you're trying to say, Vizzy, but I just want to get the overarching sentiment that these technical innovations and fantastic building blocks, they're building blocks. They're not price pumpers. They do cause the price to start running to be once the adoption comes through, but they're not price flyers, they're building blocks. Tier 1 listings will cause the price to fly, and that will come when it comes. How do you think this cycle will go? If I haven't explained it already, I think we're in a period of uncertainty, mass uncertainty. We have seen unprecedented price crashes, 40K wiped out in Bitcoin, ridiculous stuff. I think we're definitely in some more tough times ahead, but I think 2026 will be very, very big. We should creep up to pre-October levels through Q1 2026. Then we see a blow off top by summer and mid to late 2026 looking at macro headwinds. Yeah, I mean, my sentiment is relatively similar. Whether it be mid to late bear, because macro headwinds right now, it depends. Because when you see the new Fed come in, if that new Fed aligns with Trump, then there won't be macro headwinds, there'll be more tailwinds because they're going to massively plummet the interest rates and start printing more money, probably. If they align with Trump, which they most likely will, then it will happen like that. So it may not be headwinds, maybe more tailwinds. It's very hard to foresee future events like that. That's why you've got to deal with the research to be doing our VIP documentation like this. We talk about what they're looking for to see. These are forward-looking indicators. The regulatory implications, that's what Sigler and Bank are talking about in this document here. It's what the lawyer talk about in the document here, telling their buddies, you know, the buddies who are working alongside Deloitte, telling them that the financial services landscape has been set amid a backdrop of ongoing uncertainty and global disruptions. But for financial service organizations, staying resilient in this environment is more important than ever. You should be looking at, in regard to geopolitical risk, Gen AI adoption, and regulatory simplification. Those are the 3 key factors that I'm looking at right now. Don't get shaken up by the market, by the price. Price is a distraction. Do more research. Don't be emotional. Be logical and lock in. Learn more in the VIP as well. All the information I've got on the description as well. But again, those are what we know for the future. Until we see the developments take place, it's still a theory, right? Welcome back, Half-Life, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. Good evening to you too, Don Carlos. Callis, we should look for US rate cuts below 3%. Trump stimmy check, QE starting, clarity at passing, and then most importantly, China-US long-term agreement. Yeah, I agree with all of that. Don't be logical, be emotional. Incorrect. Don't be emotional, be logical. The reason 2025 was underwhelming was because Trump's tariff uncertainty. I mean, that played a part into it, but that's not the reason. Again, there's no one reason for everything. You know, this whole year, you've had numerous hacks. You know, you've had assets like Monero crashing, going to zero. You've had the Coinbase scandal. You had the Bybit scandal. You had the Ethereum Lazarus, whatever the hell that thing was called, that Cryptoni told us about, and that went to complete crap as well. You've had so many issues this year. You had Trump's tariff caused a lot of uncertainty. You had a lot of war outbreak that only just recently started to settle. You had the hawkish Fed being the main. The Fed didn't cut rates from December 2024 to September 2025. 9 months of no rate cuts. That was probably the biggest catalyst for it, honestly. And the reason they claim is because of tariffs. But we saw what tariffs did for inflation. Little to nothing. I'm not there trying to say I support Trump's tariffs at all. I'm not making an opinion at all. The point being is it was not Trump's tariffs as a deciding factor. There was so much playing into what the markets underperformed this year. Trump's tariffs was a contributing factor, but the Fed could arguably be the biggest driver for that. But you could also look at all the geopolitical uncertainties. Despite that, though, crypto going through ups and downs, it still did go up to 126k. Still had a very good pump. Altcoins, no. Bitcoin, yes. It's come down massively now. For me, it's an opportunity still. You could argue the bear market, Don. You could. I'm not so sure this is a bear market, but you could argue it's been underwhelming, to the least. You need to have it back in your mind that Bitcoin could very well be starting a bear market right now. I mean, again, I've always highlighted the possibility Bitcoin can come down from here. Will it come down, 38, 50k? You're looking at, 60, 70% correction, maybe. I don't think it will come back that far. And the reason why, because BlackRock bought into Bitcoin at 40k. BlackRock bought here. They wouldn't want... BlackRock sold a lot of their Bitcoin ETFs now. But they're still holding a lot of it. And they don't want to be losing money or anything. So if Bitcoin was to correct, it wouldn't come back down this far. They don't want to be down, right? Unless they sell it off, but I don't think they would. At least not those ones. Maybe I'm wrong, though. But I think Bitcoin could come down a little bit further on. And Kaspa coming down to 0.5 cents. I mean, frankly speaking, anything's possible. You've got to put it at that. Anything's possible. I'm not so sure if that will happen. But anything is possible. You can see Kaspa come down a little bit further, yes, but it depends on Bitcoin. It does depend. Although in saying that, Bitcoin at 89k right now, when Bitcoin was even in the 100k's here back November 7th, Kaspa was at 5 cents. So Kaspa actually is relatively similar price right now, give or take. Not down that much when Bitcoin is down considerably more. Still about 10%. Actually, a little bit more right now. So Kaspa technically, in the short term, been outperforming Bitcoin. They've been holding stronger, which is quite crazy to think. That's not saying therefore like Bitcoin collapse, Kaspa won't collapse. It just means that Kaspa may hold up stronger than we expect. We'll have to wait and see. Eric Trump said not long ago they expect Bitcoin to be 155k or so. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, I always take what these politicians and leading figures say to mainstream media with a grain of salt. You should take anything with a grain of salt, to be honest, but that's why, I mean, you're a part of the VIP, Mr. Mars. You should be able to look through the documentation if you choose to. But all the stuff in there is documentation they've been publishing to their clients. That stuff I believe a lot more so, because they're not telling the mainstream this stuff. They're telling it to their clients, which has more credibility in my belief, because they're trying to support their own buddies. Eric Trump saying it aloud, saying on mainstream media, Bitcoin's going to reach $153,000. you might have connections and stuff like that, but he also just could be propagandering for Bitcoin to go higher, so people to be long and then just short the market. I'm not saying I don't believe him. I'm just saying I take what he says with a grain of salt. I will believe more so macro economic data as opposed to a leading figure will say to the public, if you will. Oh, but yeah, no, if it ever came down to 0.5%, I think I honestly probably would go all in at that point. I think I'd sell everything I have and buy an all in if it went down to that levels. Kaspa sets Kaspa nodes to support the infrastructure. Yes, we have. I think Kaspa almost reached 1,000 nodes now, which is pretty cool as well. Yeah, Eric Trump did say that. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. He I don't disagree he might know something, but I just take what he said with a grain of salt, you know? Yeah, I mean, we've highlighted M2 is a very, very big indicator of the global liquidity, and it's at all-time highs. So there will be an alt season, there will be a crypto rally, a bigger one. The timing is just a big question. Who knows when? Have you considered an Xmas rally effect? Possibly, but it depends on the Fed. If the Fed don't cut rates, then no. Or be a lackluster one. If the Fed cuts rates, then possibly. But again, I think it'd be more so like, again, for me right now, I'm thinking more so maybe a dead cat bounce. Coming up here, coming back down. I'll be pleasantly surprised if Bitcoin's past 116k. If we do, bull market, I think, is back on. We probably make a pass. I don't think we'll be exploding, but I think we surpass all-time highs again. If we go past here, we go past all-time highs in my belief. Maybe just another little rally, maybe up to 130k. And then we probably see it come back down again. Yes, because I use it for work as well. I use it for work as well. I did have a spare laptop, but I gave that away. That I would have used to run a node otherwise. VPOGs is 2029, 2030 catalyst. It went for this bull run. Dagnite is still possible. I mean, I imagine the idea is they wanted to have VPOGs and Dagnite released at the same time. That's what I heard they said. Michael Sutton and Sompolinsky. We'll see if it happens or not. I still haven't heard that timeline. I remember seeing someone say that timeline beforehand. I think it's based on developers and external sources, but you haven't heard what Michael Sutton said about it just yet. He did say he'd provide an announcement in due time in regards to VPROG timeline. He maybe said it in these summits, these meetup, but I haven't had a chance to listen to them just yet. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be a big thing, but it won't be a thing that happens overnight either. Yeah, there's Mr. Mars, power hungry again. Welcome. The last year's taught me no one has a clue what happened to the price action. Yeah, you're completely right. No one has a clue. Everyone is flying. The only people who know are BlackRock and their buddies who have superior AI protocols and algorithms who can judge the market before it happens. Those are the only people who know the markets. People are confidently guessing, is how you should put it. Now, I can say with confidence that in regards to the VIP, in regards to the trades in our VIP, they have been very successful. So, you know, that whatever the indicators they're using and trying to teach to our community have doing very, very well. Again, we've been 1,000% in this whole pullback here. You know, we made significant gains throughout this whole period. Even more so recently as well. We made some today as well, so it's been great. But in regards to where crypto's going to go from here, nobody knows. You have got some key zones you can look out for, you know, that can help you decide where the zones of support and this will be. But you've got to understand the whole premise of, again, I guess talking about the VIP, the whole premise of my VIP here, our VIP, this community here, is to help inform you in what moves markets, and then you can use that knowledge to help decide and make your own investment decisions. Right now, the biggest issue is a lot of people just don't know how the markets move, to understand what moves the markets, be it macro, be it catalyst, be it fundamentals. They don't understand what moves the market, what these smart money are looking out for, and that's what we try to teach in there, alongside making gains passively with trading and whatnot as well. So those who are calling out price predictions, I very rarely listen to them because it's a guess, it's a confident guess, if you will. But I can have the belief of psychological zones based on, again, like Bitcoin, if it's the past here, 125k, 130k seems very possible. That's a psychological zone. 130k is psychological, so I think we might reach there and then might see resistance there. Let's wait and see though. But you can see all the zones. All these zones here we have seen Bitcoin react to accordingly. Bitcoin held 101k, coming down to 99k repeatedly a lot of times. It blew past there, found support here a little bit at 94k. These are charts that I drew out weeks and months back now, so this is being proven. And then it found support here, and now it's gone up again. So you see Bitcoin probably find resistance around here. It might even trade between here for the next few days. You might see it push up again or push back down again. We'll have to wait and see. But in regard to where Bitcoin's going to move in the short term, that's a guess as anything, because you can see any immediate catalyst cause a reversal, and for good or for worse. So it's a confident guess, but the zones are what people struggle to find. Once you find the zones, you can then decide whether you think there's enough catalyst for it to push above the zone or to hold the zone or to come below, and then you can set up accordingly if you want to DCA it or invest at that price. Kaspa will never go below a penny. I mean, again, I would be surprised, but we have to wait and see what. If Bitcoin came down significantly, then Kaspa would as well. Below a penny, it's a big psychological zone, so possibly not. We'll have to wait and see. If we can close this week's above. Again, those technical analysis, they really don't mean much. I'll be so for real. With respect, of course. I don't think these moving averages really matter much. I don't even know which one's which in this. This is moving average. I don't even know which one's which though. But if Bitcoin closes above 50-week moving average, 50-day bear market, I don't agree. I don't. Typically in the past, yes, but I think the credibility these technical indicators have now are less credible. Because the one thing that also was very prevalent is Bitcoin has an 80 to 90% correlation to M2 money supply. Look at that. Bitcoin hasn't followed this for since July. Bitcoin has an 80 to 90% correlation to the M2 money supply. It's not followed it since July. If it did, Bitcoin would be 150 plus K right now. TA is relative. I think TA is useful, but I think TA is also so useless if you don't understand fundamentals. Right now, there's no liquidity, there's no fundamental catalyst that should drive Bitcoin up. That could change in the coming months with the QT ending, with rate cuts coming in more and more, with more investments coming into the space as well. That could inject liquidity into the market and send it up, going against the status quo. But we have to understand that fundamentals drive markets and technical analysis. Technical analysis does not drive fundamentals. So we've got to understand all of the above, again, stuff that we teach in the VIP, in the weekly live streams. Best Kaspa channel here, besides sometimes you make mistakes by advertising these other coins. Yeah, thank you very much, Dimitar. I appreciate you. And I'll still make the mistakes. I apologize, but it's a crypto channel, not a Kaspa channel. But it's the biggest Kaspa conviction, no doubt. Buy much Kaspa you can. Forget the price action. It's like buying Bitcoin $100. I mean, if you want to take that decision, then go for it. Kaspa is definitely undervalued. If it is, everything we portray here is definitely going to melt faces. So discounted to say the least, but of course at your own risk, as anything. Kaspa looks like 1 break 5 cents today. That would be interesting. I don't think it will happen. If it does, fantastic, but it's going to be a very strong level of support of resistance here at 4.8. It will struggle above 4.8. We'll see where it goes from there though. Work the streets corners, do the same. Work the street corners, do what you got to do, get your hands dirty, get some fiat. One day your life will change. One day it'll be wife changing money. Okay. I mean, yeah, I do care to agree that, try to work as much as you can do right now. I mean, how I have 2, 3, whatever jobs that I work myself, trying to get extra capital so I can put it more into the markets myself. Because this is going to be a revolutionary time, no doubt. The biggest wealth transfer in history, $80 trillion coming into this space. We are simply not bullish enough. In the long term for the space, we are not bullish enough. In the short term, things are looking a bit bleak. I know it's not common for me to be very bearish, and I'm seeing the post from Mr. Mars there as well. I apologize if I sound a bit bearish. I'm not trying to instill FUD into anybody. I'm trying to act realistic here. Which is markets right now are seeing a lot of FUD. Things are looking very, very bleak, and we've got to be concerned about it. We've got to be aware of it. In the mid to long term, I am very bullish. 2026 is going to be huge. In the short term, we could see more downside. This could be the bottom. That'd be fantastic if it was. But we could see again their cap bounce come down a bit further. We have to wait and see. It does wholeheartedly right now depend on the Fed. Because the Fed's going to determine what investors, institution, and retail do. If the Fed decide they don't want to cut rates in December, you might see more downside. We don't need rate cuts, but you see what the markets do with rate cuts, the belief of it alone. So I have to wait and see. And also very true, technical analysis, while beneficial, they aren't the crystal ball, because they didn't predict October 10th. TA didn't predict any of this. Because if they did, you wouldn't have seen liquidation after liquidation after liquidation continuously. People kept putting in at bottoms because they used their TA. It didn't work. TA is not useless. It's not, because the traders who are part of my VIP, they use a lot of, well, of course, paired with fundamentals to understand when the market's going to move, but they use TA as well to determine what the zones are, to then see if it's going to long from one position to another position, like with the one that Chartflows put in regarding the XRP trade. The entry point was at $2.14, and the target was $1.92. And that came through because we analyzed and understood the zone here. That was another critical zone here. 192 is another zone. You saw it happen here. So TA can help you. The TA for me, I made a post on it a while back. I made another post on it on my Twitter as well. But TA, you don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to use fib retracements. You can use them, and they're not like they're not useful. You don't need to use fib retracements. You don't need to use moving averages. You don't need to use RSI. You just need to be able to analyze the support and resistance and understand the fundamentals move the market. It can be that simple. You look at Bitcoin right now, these are the zones. The zones here as proven levels of support and resistance. It will either find support there or bounce off there and come back down. As you've seen, as it has done for all these periods here. You can draw it back a little bit further. You can see the support there, support here. All these times has happened. These zones are real. That's all TA has to be. Understand where the zones are. They won't be as black and white, like, it's going to absolutely just rebound there. But it's, you understand where the zones are, and you understand the fundamentals drive the market, and then you can determine when Bitcoin did come down here, and it came below there, and then it made a push back up here again, push down here, and found support here, and now it's going up, it's broken above here. If Bitcoin ends today above here, which right now it might do, if it does, it's a good possibility because it'll make a move up to 92k over the coming, few days or whatever. It's a good possibility of such. If it finishes above this support zone, this zone here, if it finishes above this zone here of 87.777, it should likely make a move up to the zone here. But again, it depends on what fundamentals drive the market. If there's some bearish news that comes out, Bitcoin will go against the curve. But that's what TA needs to show you. That's all TA shows me. That's all I need to understand. Again, stuff that we teach in a lot more detail, and we'll also give more clarity in that stuff in the VIP as well. You can check that out again, just down below in the description. But TA does not have to be overcomplicated at all, not in the slightest. TA is useless, unless only people who move the price market traders. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say it's useless, but it's. I think fundamentals matter a lot more. If you're an investor, then TA is useful for you to find a better DCA zone. But if you're a trader, then TA is more important. But it's also, in this current market, fundamentals drive it a lot more. It's the moving average thing. I don't agree with right now, because Bitcoin is definitely going to finish below the 50-day moving average. I don't think we're in a guaranteed bear cycle just yet. Don't think so at all. Did QC sell its entire bag? No. I have sold a lot of I did announce to my VIPs that I have taken even more profits and hold even more stablecoins now, but the only thing I've not touched, in fact I've put more into, is Kaspa. And yeah, there's a possibility as well. FUD being so high that when the euphoria starts to come in, it's also a possibility of that. I don't disagree. Easy on paper, but actually to put into practice is quite difficult, you know. TA is good in neutral markets, not in macro dominated. Yeah, 100%. In the bear market, it's fine. In this current bull uncertain cycle where macro is dominating everything, then TA is so just not very convincing. Because TA didn't predict this. TA didn't predict this. TA has not predicted pretty much any of the moves here. That's why I don't use TA in the capacity people talk about. Drip retracement, RSI, they're useful, but they're only so useful. Because right now, Bitcoin, I'd imagine, definitely the oversold region. Doesn't mean it's not going to come down further. RSI also only good to an extent. I think the better is just finding zones, make it simple. Simple is best, honestly. That being said, family, that does to conclude today's Kaspa Crypto Live stream. A very long one today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's content. Thank you all for the kind wishes and words, and we'll be back again tomorrow, no doubt. So if you enjoyed it, leave a like, share your friends, subscribe for more. Check out all the socials, Twitter, Discord, and equally the VIP in the description. And equally BYDFI, our affiliate exchange, all information down below and in our Discord server as well. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening,